Hello, everyone. I'm Kashif Kamran, the AA tutor. 4 days to go to the AA March 2025 exams. What to do in these 4 days? Let's investigate the answer. The very first thing is to stay calm and avoid the negative thought process. This is a time when you will start getting those panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and your stress level will start going up. That is a natural stress level which every student face in these last days before exam. Now, the important thing is that at this point in time, you might start to realize or you get a feeling that you are forgetting everything or everything is fading off. Whatever you have learned, revised, or practiced, you still can't remember anything. And that is the natural exam stress you're going through. Be assured that whatever you have learned and revised and gone through is here. It's in your mind. Nothing will go off from here. And Monday, when you sit down and you do your actual March 25 exams, everything will come out. Don't worry about it. The problem is that if you are part of any WhatsApp group, this is a high time that you disconnect yourself with the WhatsApp group. Because at this point in time, you see students posting lots of material on AA from multiple tutors, and that cause you distraction. That cause the negativity because you start to believe, I don't know this, I don't know that. What if this comes to the exam? What if that comes to the exam? And at this point in time, because every student is going through that stress, the student will be putting some very illogical questions. And those illogical questions can become a source of distraction for you. So you just need to disconnect the WhatsApp. You just need to focus on what you have done and what sort of preparation you have done for your upcoming exams. And you just need to refine it. You just need to revise it, and you're good to go ahead for your exams on Monday. So all the negative thoughts which comes to your mind, just please ignore them. Disconnect from the WhatsApp group. You can only be in the WhatsApp group with your tutor or any classes you are taking from any particular tutor, but not the journal public groups. And keep yourself calm because whatever you have done is there and will benefit you on Monday. Secondly, ask yourself, what are my weak areas? Where am I still nervous? Where am I still struggling? What caused me difficulty? Is it substantive procedure? Is it audit risk or responses? Is it the OTQs? Is it the question on audit report? What caused you panic? Or is it the question on control weaknesses? Wherever you believe you're weak and you're still nervous, you still believe I'm not good into it, you have 4 days. Revise it. Do more practice around it of the recent papers. If you're struggling in a topic, evaluate the examiner answers. Learn from examiner answers. You know there is a lot of repetition in AA. More importantly, you can look into the examiner reports. Suppose you're struggling in substantive procedure, open any examiner report and read the examiner concerns on substantive procedure. And you will learn a lot from it. That's a better source. That's a better source to overcome your weak areas, more important than the examiner answers. So identifying your weak areas, uh, because every one of you will know where you are weak. Every one of you know where I have a bit of an issue. I face challenges when I do past papers in this particular area. So it's better that you spend your next 4 days in that area rather than spending it on the whole syllabus. So that's important, right? So that's more like a self-analysis you need to do. And lastly, ensure you have covered everything from my March 2025 checklist. Let's see what is my March 2025 checklist, which even I've shared when I was doing my video exam strategy for 30 days. Now it's been shrink down to just 4 days, but this is just like a reasonable assurance that if you have done all these things, you are in a better position on Monday. You are in a better place on Monday, and you have that sufficient, appropriate confidence that I'll do it and I'll pass it. This is just like a checklist at this point in time, asking a question from yourself. Have I done it? Technical articles. When I was doing the video on a 30 days exam strategy, I recommended 10 out of 14 articles. Now it's come down to 8 out of 14 articles, which I still believe are the most important 8 articles, which will add value. There are 14 articles on the AA website. I'm recommending you to brush over the 8 if you still have not done them. Laws and regulation in the syllabus area A, audit risk in B, specific aspects of auditing in a computerized based environment in syllabus area C. Audit of wages can really help you with substantive procedures and test of controls and internal control weaknesses. Syllabus area C. Audit of assertions in syllabus area D can really help you with your OTQs. Audit report syllabus area E, you know a 5 marks question do comes from audit report, writing the implication on the audit report. So that's important. And then going concern is an important area. The types of questions which can pop in from going concern has been addressed in this article from the examiner. So please do read it. And finally, the subsequent events, you know how important it is. At times you do get a question on reporting where the event is either adjusting or non-adjusting, and according to that, you need to take your action. Section A, 220 OTQs. This was put when I was doing the video for 30 days. Now you're down to 4 days. You need to ask a question to yourself. Have you done these 220 OTQs? If you have not, still some are missing, you can still do them. I recommended 170 OT questions on the ACCA Study Hub. Have you done it? Have you done it? Have you not? You still have time, at least to go in and do as much as you can. Examiner reports. I recommended that there are plenty of examiner reports, and every examiner report contains 5 OT questions. I recommended 7 examiner reports when I was doing my video on the 30 days exam strategy. And in each of the 7, you have 5 OTQs, so it becomes 35. Then lastly, I recommended you to do the ACCA March mock, and it has 15 OT questions. I've already done a debrief on the March 25 mock on section A and B, which is on my YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com/Kashif Kamran. In the video section, you can find the AA mock debrief I've done on section A and section B. So you can gain confidence from that as well. This was a list of 220 OTQs given to you 30 days ago. Have you done it? Is some still remaining? Is some still pending? Do them over the next 4 days. Section B, section B is a more refined section, is a more structured section. You know exactly what comes. And the best thing is there is so much repetition. So if you've done the recent 5 or 6 papers, you will get more and less the same questions on Monday. Section B consists of a typical question on audit risk and responses, a question on quality control weaknesses and recommendation. This is a recent phenomena. And to me, this is important. Even for your March 2025 exams, I'll show you a glimpse of the 2 recent questions which have come on quality control. And I will assure that you all have done that, because I expect that on Monday, you might get another question on quality control, just like the previous months. There is a repetition in AA. Control weaknesses, recommendations, direct controls, test of controls, that's a favorite area of your AA examiner. Substantive procedure, that's the biggest part of your 70 marks. Almost 20 to 25 marks are on substantive procedures in section B, so you need to be better off. Implication for the audit report, that's a minor part, just 5 marks normally comes on implication for the audit report, but you should have knowledge around adjusting and non-adjusting events, and be assured you know the knowledge marks which comes on CAM. I'll show you the questions which comes on CAM, which you need to polish up. Again, there is a repetition in the same question repeating many times. Governance weaknesses and recommendations, we sure you know that because in the recent past, we have seen a couple of questions coming back in section B on governance weaknesses and recommendation for 6 to 8 marks. So please assure you know that. And finally, the knowledge questions which comes in section B, have you done a list of that? Now, there is a typical list of knowledge questions, and there is a significant chance that 75 to 80% of those knowledge questions can pop in on Monday. So please assure you do that. Now, this is the 7 areas. I will be emphasizing on the quality control. I will be emphasizing on CAM, and I will be emphasizing on knowledge questions on my next slides. In terms of quality management, quality management it has been coming in AA in recent exam sittings. And quality management in recent exam papers is like this. March, June 24, there was a question, identify and explain the 3 deficiencies in quality management in the approach adopted by Teal and company and recommend which would have recommendation how to address them. Now, this is a typical question where you're finding the deficiency in the quality management and giving recommendation, and a case was given to you, and the deficiencies were very normal, very easier. But please ensure you have brushed over this question. March, June 23, in line with ISA 220 quality management, describe the auditor responsibility in relation to supervising and reviewing the work performed. This is knowledge. What are auditor responsibility to supervise and review the work performed? This is knowledge. The first question is case study, identifying the weaknesses and giving recommendation. But these are the types of questions which could repeat on Monday. Please assure you've done the answer, you have seen the answer, you have seen the examiner report for March, June 24. You have done the answer, you've seen the examiner report for March, June 23. CAM, repetitive question on CAM. And every time it's the same. Describe the factors which the audit engagement partner would have considered in determining that this issue is scam. So what factors the partner would consider that this issue is scam, and describe the content of scam. You should know the answer. You should have seen the examiner answer. You should have written a summarized answer for yourself that if the same question comes on Monday, I know how to write an answer. This is the beauty of the double exams, that there is so much repetition in the knowledge areas that if you have documented the answer, you can reproduce the same. Yes, in the case specific areas like substantive procedure, you need to see the case to write the answer. For audit risk, you need to see the case and write the answer. But you should be knowing the logics of writing the answer, because if you've done the recent papers, you're well prepared for section B. Knowledge areas in section B. Define a significant deficiency in internal control and describe 4 matters the auditor would consider in determining whether a deficiency is significant. A favorite question. So many times I've seen it repeating. Number 3, describe the preconditions for an audit. Number 4, describe the 5 components of the internal control system. Number 5, explain the purpose of an audit engagement letter and list 4 items which should be included in the audit engagement letter. List 4 control objectives of a sales system. It could be of any system. In line with ISA 220 quality management, describe the auditor responsibility for supervising and reviewing the work. I show you this question in quality management shortly, but this is a knowledge question, so I put it here as well. Number 8, briefly explain how sources of information will be used by the audit firm to gain understanding. So the sources of business, how would you gain knowledge of business at the planning stage of the audit? And number 9, explain the responsibility of the audit firm under the ISA 250 in relation to laws and regulation. Do these 9 questions, because 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them can be there on Monday. Please ensure you know the answers. Please ensure that when the examiner says describe, the answer has to be put in a para form. But when the examiner says list, it's like a bullet, 1, 2, 3, 4. Know the difference between list, describe. Define means to put more like a definition. So you should know the difference, because at times, even the question is asking you to describe something and you are listing it. So instead of getting 1 mark, you get 0.5 marks. So these are important knowledge questions in section B. Please ensure you go through them, you revise them. I've given you the repetitive topics in section B. I've told you that you need to do the recent papers. I've given you a list of OTQs and the articles. But this is not the time to do them. This is just the time to ask a question to yourself. Have I done them? If anything is missing, do them because you still have 4 days. So, out of the 220 OTQs, how many have you done? Out of the recent 5, 6 papers, how many have you done? Out of the list of 9 questions, how many have you done? Out, so it's about asking a question. 8 articles, how many have done? If you still believe you have not done anything of this or something is remaining, do it. So I wish you all the very best of luck. I hope you will keep yourself calm. You will identify your weaker areas and you work on them for the next 4 days. And please ensure you brush over the list of the important things for the March exam and ensure you have covered all of them. Wish you all the best of luck. Your tutor, Kashif Kamran, signing off.